So every few months, my partner and I like to review the credit cards that are currently in our rotation to ensure that we're optimizing our credit cards that we're using in our two-player strategy. So in this video, let's go over exactly what cards are in our wallets for the first quarter of 2025, which will act as one of my two keeper cards for this year. Now, the HSBC Star Alliance credit card is a pretty unique card, and if you're someone who often flies with Virgin Australia or another Star Alliance airline like Singapore Airlines, then this card might be perfect for you. This is because of its unique sign-up bonus, offering elite frequent flyer status solely through credit card spending. Whilst my partner and I fly relatively frequently, most of our flights are booked through reward points, meaning we don't actually accumulate frequent flyer status points. But we still wanted to enjoy the benefits of having an elite frequent flyer status, which made this card a great option for us. We're flying with Singapore Airlines a total of 5 times this year, which is why we opted to get the gold status with Singapore's KrisFlyer program. Other notable options that you could have considered are Air Canada's Aeroplan and United Airlines. Because of our KrisFlyer Gold Elite now, my partner and I will enjoy a number of benefits when we fly with Singapore Airlines, which includes priority check-in, extra baggage allowance, priority baggage handling, and probably the main benefit that most people get this card for is access to the Star Alliance lounges, which will be available for us whenever we fly with Singapore Airlines. A number of our flights this year will actually be in economy and will be transiting through Changi Airport, so it'll be great to be able to relax in the KrisFlyer Gold Lounge rather than waiting around the gate outside. The KrisFlyer Gold Lounge in Terminal 3 recently got renovated and is a wonderful space to relax prior to a flight, grab a quick bite, or even have a quick shower. An additional benefit as a KrisFlyer Gold member is that you get the option of picking forward seating in economy flights free of charge, which usually costs around $50 to $60, and also receive a 20% discount if you wanted to book a bulkhead seat with additional legroom. Spending on this card accrues reward points, which are then transferable to 7 participating Star Alliance airlines. Being able to store your points and then transferring them to a specific frequent flyer program only when needed is useful to ensure that you don't have any points orphaned and don't get used. Earn rates for the card are tiered, where you earn 1 Star Alliance point per dollar spent for the first $3,000 in a statement period, and then only 0.5 Star Alliance points per dollar spent above $3,000. The conversion of Star Alliance points to most frequent flyer programs is at a rate of 1 to 0.8, so your effective earning rate for Singapore's KrisFlyer program is 0.8 KrisFlyer miles per dollar spent for the first $3,000 in a statement period, before it reduces to 0.4 miles per dollar spent for every dollar above that, which makes this the highest earning credit card for KrisFlyer miles amongst all other credit cards within the Australian marketplace. As a comparison, the AMEX only earns you 0.33 KrisFlyer miles per dollar spent, while Citibank earns you 0.4 miles per dollar spent, assuming you hold the Premier or the Prestige cards. Now, I've always been a big fan of Singapore's KrisFlyer program because not only do they have great award seat availability, but they also don't charge you any carrier fees for their own reward seat bookings, potentially saving you hundreds of dollars. As an example, if we booked a business class flight from Melbourne to Singapore with Singapore Airlines through Virgin Australia, we would need 74,000 velocity points and just over $300 in taxes and fees. Compared to booking directly with Singapore Airlines for the same flight, we will need to pay 68,500 KrisFlyer miles and only $105 in taxes, which is a saving of over $200 for the exact same flight. Now, because we need to keep this card open in order to maintain our gold frequent flyer status, we will be keeping this card for the remainder of the year. And because of the high earn rates for KrisFlyer miles, I'll be ensuring that I spend at least $3,000 each month on this card to take advantage of that high earn rate. And for any additional spend above that, I'll consider using one of our other 2 keeper cards, which is the AMEX Explorer card or the AMEX Platinum Edge card. Now, there's not too much that I wanted to talk about these two credit cards, as they have been a staple in our wallets for a number of years now and will continue to be our keeper cards moving forward. Now, we don't have any immediate plans to cancel either of these cards anytime in the future. Even though they come with relatively higher annual fees, we don't necessarily see it that way, as you also receive an annual travel credit that directly offsets the annual fee. So in our eyes, you're kind of getting the credit card for free. My only tip with the travel credit that you receive with these cards is to only book hotels, because I've found that booking flights through the travel portal typically is more expensive than booking directly with the airline. Whereas more often than not, you can find comparable rates with hotels as to what you might find elsewhere on sites like booking.com or Agoda. Our plan with these two cards is to put any groceries or fuel transactions on my Platinum Edge credit card, because I earn 3 points per dollar spent on both of those categories. And for all other transactions that we aren't putting on my Star Alliance credit card, we'll then put on my partner's Explorer card, because that earns us a flat 2.25 AMEX points per dollar spent. The next card in my wallet is my partner's ANZ Rewards Travel Adventure card. This is a card that we use whenever we're traveling overseas or making online purchases in a foreign currency. Since this card has 0% international transaction fees, we won't be charged any additional fees for all of those transactions. On top of that, the card also earns reward points, earning us 1.5 ANZ reward points per dollar spent. Now, if you watched my recent credit card strategy video, I did mention that we were considering swapping this card out, as this card does have a $129 annual fee, and most likely this is our final year of doing a lot of traveling. It probably doesn't make a lot of sense after this year to continue holding this card and incurring that annual fee. We do have a trip booked over the Christmas and New Year break to South Korea and Japan, which we booked all with points, which we are very excited about. So we'll at least keep this card open for the remainder of the year so that we can use it for that trip. Now, if you guys want to learn about how I managed to book those reward seats during a holiday period, which is notoriously hard to find reward seats, if not impossible, then make sure you subscribe to my free weekly newsletter. I sent a post out to my readers a few weeks ago talking about exactly how I managed to snag that booking. And I'll continue to give weekly tips in my newsletter, so make sure you subscribe. Links will be down in the description. Now, I have already been doing some research into alternative travel credit cards, and I think I've found the perfect one. The Bendigo Ready credit card pretty much ticks all the boxes that I want and provides even more. It has a $0 annual fee and a 0% international transaction fees, which were my non-negotiables. But then there's also additional perks, such as providing up to 3 months of international travel insurance free of charge. There's also extended warranty and fraud protection for your purchases, which are all benefits that you would typically find with more higher end credit cards. So if you're in the market for a travel credit card, then you might want to consider this one. And those are pretty much the 4 cards that we currently have in our credit card rotation. We aren't currently churning any new cards at the moment, but I do probably have plans to sign up for one soon if I haven't done so already before this video goes live. The card that I am strongly considering signing up for is the NAB Rewards Platinum card, which I featured in my top 5 cards to consider signing up for in 2025. The sign up bonus for the card includes up to 80,000 NAB reward points when you spend just $1,000 in the first 2 months, whilst also enjoying a reduced $45 annual fee from $195 in the first year. With NAB reward points, I'll be able to transfer them to Velocity at a rate of 2 to 1, so it'll be worth at least 40,000 Velocity points. Or as an alternative, you can redeem them for gift cards, which will get you around $400. My goal for this year was to redeem as much of our frequent flyer points as possible, since we had a large stash of points, and to also balance earning cashback versus accumulating more frequent flyer points. Now, one of my goals this year was to redeem our frequent flyer points wherever possible, because at the beginning of the year, we had a huge stash of points between the both of us. And I'm happy to say that we've actually used a large chunk of our points for our bookings over the Christmas and New Year period, which will be flying with Singapore Airlines in both premium economy and business class. So So we may choose to transfer those reward points to Velocity, given that we've used all of our points there. As an added incentive, Velocity are currently running a promotion where you earn 20% more points when you turn on auto transfer. So if you've been wanting to transfer your points to Velocity, now might be a good time to do so. The promotion ends at the end of April. So those are all of the cards that are currently in your wallet, as well as what cards we are considering opening in the future. Between the two of us, we only have 4 cards in our wallet, so we're keeping it pretty simple. And it just goes to show that you don't need too many credit cards in your rotation in order to optimize your spend and maximize the number of points that you're accumulating. Let me know what cards you guys currently have in your rotation, because I'm definitely interested in knowing, so let me know down in the comments below. And especially if you're using different cards to what we have in our own rotation. If you guys enjoyed the video, then make sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel for more credit card content like this in the future. And if you want to learn more about credit card hacking and earning frequent flyer points, then you might want to consider checking out this video after this.